But let's talk about the school trends. Let's talk about the school trends. Because listen up, listen up, listen up. In the past, y'all went, see, this is what happened. We had a one-room schoolhouse when we started the turn of this century. And it was so incredible because in a one-room schoolhouse, the mamas and daddies all knew you, and we all had there was a schoolhouse on like every other block. It was incredible. But this is what happened. You have to understand our history so that you can understand what's going to happen to you now. Because you see, in the 1950s, what happened is all the factories, the 30s and 40s made the factories, and the factories became very big and very important to us. So when they started building all of these schools, what then happened is we made them just like the factory. Why did we do that? Because the whole United States of America needed a whole bunch of people that were well behaved, that could take orders so that they could work in the factory. And think about it, the factory, what happened is they rang a bell and the part moved down the line. They rang a bell and the part moved down the line. What does that sound like to y'all? Our school system. They ring a bell and the kid moves down the line. They ring a bell and the kid moves down. Do you get this? Are you getting this? Say yes, USDA. Yes. So your cafeterias were built to look like the factories. We wanted you to be orderly. We wanted you to sit in a row. We wanted you to sit down when we said sit down and stand up when we said stand up. We told you when to come to school, when to go home from school, and everybody had to come to school. That's how it was. Listen to me. Everything has changed. Nothing of that is going to work anymore. It will not work because some of the students that you now have available to you are going to create jobs that aren't even on the market yet. We haven't even thought them up. So nowadays we need kids that are going to be innovative. We need kids that are going to be innovative and excited and motivated. And we cannot do it in the buildings in the way we've been doing it because it doesn't work. And everything is going to change this year for you. We don't run the schools anymore. We used to. But now, this is who runs the schools. Well, not these particular parents. But the parents are running the schools. And why is that? Because this thing has happened. We have got what they call social media. And social media is driving all of the new industry. We started a revolution. A revolution was started in Egypt this year on a cell phone. Do you get this? None of what we've been doing in the past has worked. In the past, we could say to these kids, hurry on down that line. I said, move, 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 move. Hurry on down that line. Well, some of y'all are still saying that, aren't you? And so what happened is, you can't do that anymore. Social media has changed everything. And if you don't understand this, let me show you. How many of you in this audience have a cell phone? How many can take a picture on your cell phone? How many can take a picture on your cell phone and then send it to YouTube without your kids' help? I thought so. How many have a Game Boy that they know how to play? How many have a Facebook page? How many know how to tweet? How many know that it is tweeting, not your husband, where you think it's a twit? I didn't mean that. And so, but tweeting and twitting, they're two different things, okay? And so, but how many of you know that the kids have Facebook? How many kids know that the kids know how to take a picture and put it up on Facebook? How many of they know how to take a picture, put it up on YouTube in a minute? You see, in the past, you could do what you wanted to say. Hurry on down that line. I said, boob. I said, boob. I said, boob. Now you do that? Honey, this kid's going to take out his camera. I don't care whether you've got a phone. I don't care whether your school says there are no cell phones in our school. I don't care whether that's true or not. These kids are going to take out that phone. They're going to snap your picture. And then they're going to put it right up on YouTube. Hurry on down that line. And let me tell you what. You think that mamas are going to be happy about that? Hey, let me give you a flash. How many of you are like me? Honey, if you pick on me, that is shame on me. If I let you pick on me, that is up to me. That is on me. But honey, you mess with my kid, and I will rip your face off. I will rip your face off. And how many of you are like me, you will rip their face off? Mamas and daddies, how many of you rip their face off? So do you get what I'm trying to tell you? So in the past, you could behave any way you wanted to, but now the parents we're standing up, and we're saying, I'm not going to take it anymore. And we're using the social media. I want us to use it together, but we're using it against you all. And you have to understand that. So we got to get these parents on our side. Do we understand that? Say yes, MGM. Yes. We have to have them on our side, because if they're against us, oh Lord, we're in trouble. Because these are the kind of things that can happen. They will snap your picture any way you want. All right, these are pictures pictures can be captured anywhere. And look at this one. Lunchroom lady punches out a student. I mean, I don't even make this stuff up. This is true stories. It got right on. And look at this. You can either make bad news or you can make good news. This is a good news story where over at Johnston College, there was a lunchroom lady that she was so well beloved, so well liked, so well enjoyed, that every day after she finished her lunchroom duty, she went out for bus duty. One of the buses didn't see her and backed over her. True story. I didn't make this up. She lost her limb. And so what happened is she had been in a tragedy, she lost her limb, she lost her house, and so the students felt so badly about that, they collected enough money that they could buy her a new house. So it's going, thank you. So whether you make good news or bad news is going to be whose choice? Your choice. It's your choice whether you're going to make the news good way or you're going to make it bad news. And it's going to be up to you. And so whether you know this lady or not makes no difference to me. Her name is Michelle Rhea. And Michelle Rhea, where do you see her? What's she on the cover of? Time magazine. That should be telling you something right from the get-go. This is a mama who, just like you, just like me, said, you touch my kids, you mess with my kids, I'll rip your face off. And she didn't like the way the Washington, D.C. schools were treating her kids. They were yelling at them, they were telling them to move on down the line, they were doing mean things, and so she said, I've had enough. She got together with one of the other, they became like the chancellor of D.C. This woman went in, and she made Oprah not once, not twice, but 3 times. You go on Oprah one time, you should be paying attention. You go on Oprah 3 times, you darn well better be paying attention because it's going to come back and bite you if it doesn't. So she got into that school system. She let go of teachers. She let go of food service. She let go of anybody that wasn't happy, wasn't smiling, wasn't doing what they should be doing to these kids. She said, if you're not going to be happy, if you're not going to do a great job because you love these kids and want to be here, go work somewhere else. And she took care of it. Now, they have fired her, but pay no attention to that because she has started a revolution. And these parents are beginning to talk out. And they're going to come after anyone that's not paying attention to what I'm going to talk about today. So aren't you glad I'm here today? Say, yes, MGM. Yes, MGM. And so because the parents are beginning to use the new technology. They're tracking the school situations. They're getting their homework. They have to ask their kid how to do it online, but once they do that, they figure it out. And so they're making appointments. They're making appointments with the teachers. They're making appointments with the superintendent. But here's where they're really, really getting to us. They're organizing support groups. And so what's happening is there's support groups that are not supportive of us. So we've got to turn this trend around. Do you understand that? We've got to turn this trend around and get them to support us, because we're feeding their kids better food than they could ever think of. They're still sending in those death boxes. I call them Lunchables. And they're high caloric, they're no value, they have all this trans fat and everything else in them. You're serving low calorie things, you're using low sugar, low calories, and so we need to start telling the parents this. They don't get it. And we all serve it for what? $2.25? It doesn't get better than that. Those Lunchables are more than that. But they don't know what you're doing, and we got to tell them, we got to tell them, we got to tell them. And then you better start treating each other better. I guarantee you, if you don't start treating each other better, things are going to get really serious really fast. This is a gal who figured out how to use old technology, the whiteboard, and she married it with new technology, YouTube. She took a video of her holding up a whiteboard, but it's very, very effective. It says, "Happy Monday, everybody. I quit." I've learned a lot in these past 2 years, and I'm going to miss all of you, except one. I'm looking at you, Spencer. And so she says, being your assistant's been a special kind of help. I've put up with your bad temper. I've put up even with your bad breath. And because I wanted to be a what, everybody? A broker. She wanted to be a broker. And so on Friday, I transferred you a call. I was about to hang up when I heard you call me a HOPA. Does anyone know what a HOPA is? Neither did I. She tells us a HOPA is hot piece of... Oh yes, not good. You shouldn't put that up there. And so she said, is that really all you thought of me, Spencer? She says, office morale has been down since you installed that little snitch. So what Spencer had done is he gone to everybody's computer and he put a little timing device on it so that he could find out where they were spending their time on the internet. She said, remember, you gave me all the codes. So I wondered, what did she wonder? How Spencer was spending his time. And she found out that Spencer was spending 4.7 hours on Scottrade. He was spending 5.3 hours on TechCrunch. But drum roll please. Brrr, where do you think he was spending most of his time? Facebook. Porn. There we go. That's where the front row. Porn. They know. I'll talk to you about that later. All right. Porn. Actually, Facebook. 19.7 hours on Farmville. And she says, wow, this hopa is moving on. So listen to me. If you don't treat your colleagues very nicely, they'll go on YouTube. And so you don't want this. And so we're here to motivate and inspire these kids. We are not here just to serve up food. And so once we understand that, because listen up, education reform is already here. It's not going away for the first time ever. They've done it in the past and it's kind of been a little challenge and then it's gone away. It's not going away this year. In the past, everybody had to come to your school district. So we had participation that we could get the revenue from. Listen up. That's not true. It's certainly not true this year because they can go to homeschool. How many of you got kids that are homeschooled? Or no kids that are homeschooled? Isn't that amazing? How many charter schools? Charter schools are absolutely here. And we've got online classes. How is this affecting you? You should be paying attention to this. This affects your what? Revenue. When you have low participation, you have low revenue. High participation, high revenue. What are we all about this year? Increase your what? To get increased what? Revenue. And let me say it louder. Increase your what? To get increased. That's what we're all about. And so we've got a war on fraud. Obama, whether you like him or not, makes no difference to me. You should be paying attention to what's happening. He's got $60 billion in the budget for fraud. And where did he go first? To Florida. He went first to Florida to fix the hospitals down there because there's huge amount of fraud in the hospitals and healthcare in Florida. Where do you think he might be coming next? The schools. Do you think that could be a possibility? Because if there's fraud in the hospitals, there's fraud in the schools. And so how is that going to affect you? Big time. It means that document management is going to be huge to you. Apps and workflow is going to be huge. Data security. What does that mean? You have to keep these kids protected. The identity theft. Do you know the #1 identity theft in the nation is right now what? Children. Children is the #1. Why? They're stealing baby and elementary school Social Security. Why is that? Because the crooks have figured out that the mamas and daddies won't find out for 12 to 15 to 18 years. Do you get this? So why is data security and document management going to be so powerful this year for you that you have to keep very accurate records, that your production thing is going to be on time? Because they're looking for fraud. And it's not going to be here because this is the best group on the nation. But that means that because we got a few people that have messed up, we're going to have to do this. Do y'all get this? This is why all of this happens. You have to understand what's happening. And the government wants you to blow the whistle on fraud. Because the general funds in your buildings, did y'all know you have no money? Did y'all realize that? We don't even have a school. There you go. No money and no school. But you're going to the mall. And so, I love going to the mall. Come on, you're going to the mall. Because that's where Joplin High School is going to be. And so, cost containment. It means that we're looking to you to contain all the costs. Those that know how to save money, you're going to be in big time demand because we want you to tell us. We want you to tell us. And I realize there's 5 million reasons that you don't want to change. I get that. I get that. But whether you like to change or you resist change, it's going to happen. And so what does that mean to you? I think we better get rid of it then. So everybody put your hand up on your flusher and let's flush out change.